Hello and welcome back to the Couch Potato Podcast. My name is Russ, and with me, as always, is my co-host, my partner in crime, Mr. Adam Lincourt. Adam, how we doing this evening, buddy?
Oh, I'm doing fantastic. I am ready to talk movies. I'm really excited about this one. This is the kind of a um I don't know. It's not like when you think of this genre of movie, you don't think of this movie uh right off the rip, but it's really, really good. So I'm
Yeah,
excited to get into it.
it's actually a subgenre of action movie that I personally like. It's not that old of a subgenre of movies. It's not one that's you would find in like a video store if you talk to a movie fan. It's one I created in my head, but it's the subgenre of action movies, just Denzel Washington killing people.
Yeah. I mean, that is a very niche subgenre, but there are quite a few movies in it other than the movie we'll be doing today.
Yeah.
So
We're actually this is Adam's pick today. We're doing
yes.
2014's The Equalizer.
Yes.
I would have not truthful. This wouldn't have been the first Denzel Washington killing people movie I would have picked, but it is a very entertaining yarn nonetheless.
Mhm.
What was your introduction to The Equalizer?
So I actually didn't watch the first Equalizer in theaters. I believe this. I can't pronounce the director's name. I apologize.
Antoine
So
Fuqua?
Fuqua. Thank you. I could not pronounce that last name.
Wait a minute, did we do like a body switch tonight or a mind switch? Because usually I'm the one who always fucks up the.
Maybe. But I think this is his first IMAX film. Which great. I think this would have been awesome in IMAX, but I watched it. I believe it was a Redbox DVD, and I watched it with my father. This is back when Redbox was, a little bit more popular. I don't even know if they have Redbox anymore.
I have not seen
Be
one
honest.
in a few years.
Yeah,
They always
so
see like the last of them always seem to be hanging out in front of Walgreens.
yeah, either Walgreens or like a grocery store like Kroger or something like that.
Not even Kroger. It would be like an IGA or
Right.
like a Food Mart or something like that. Some random like very generic to or very specific to that town.
Howard's or something. I don't
Yeah.
know. So yeah, it was a really good movie. I didn't think that I would like it when I saw the trailers, and so I kind of just poo-pooed it. I like, oh yeah, another action movie with Denzel Washington. Great, I'll catch it whenever. But now it's actually one of my favorite movies that he's in. I know that he's we got Man on Fire and stuff like that, but I really like this movie. It's one of those movies that you derive joy out of seeing the misfortune of others because they deserve it. Schadenfreude, or however you say that German word. So it's like watching John Wick, but in a different light. Like if John Wick were, a good person.
Right.
So yeah, I really like the film. I like the premise. And we'll get into like the fun facts a little bit later, but I like the backstory of John McCall or not John McCall. I'm thinking of John Wick, Robert McCall, and how he came to be in the position that he was in. I really like the aspect of the everyman kind of hiding in plain sight sort of thing.
Mhm.
So,
I know for me, I didn't see The Equalizer until I think we've discussed it on the show whenever we would get like Blu-ray returns at our former employer. We would take
yeah,
the digital codes and
yeah,
basically upload them to our own personal library.
yep,
And I remember I did that with The Equalizer and hadn't watched it. And then, as luck would have it, after the sequel had come out, somebody had returned it too. So we ended up, of course, doing that because we all, I think 4 or 5 of us shared like a same Fandango. What's called Fandango now, but Voodoo at the time. We all shared the
yeah.
same login. And I remember I was sick one night and I was running, I think it was like close to 101. And when you've had a fever, you're super sick, you should sleep, but like your body hurts so bad that you can't.
Yeah.
So I just laid on the couch, some like just scrolling through. I was like, I need just something, just I turn my fucking brain off, and I don't really need to pay attention and just get me through this. And I remember I ended up watching the Equalizer 1 and 2 back to back, and I was up till like
Oh,
5 o'clock
nice.
in the morning watching it, and it was just like that's exactly the medicine that I needed. Because luckily enough, like my fever broke shortly after the Equalizer 2 had ended, so it was like
Oh, nice.
Denzel
Yeah.
Washington saved the day at my house too. Uh,
Good medicine.
these are not, I would say, like mindless action movies. There's some substance to them,
Right.
but
Yeah.
I just think they're incredibly stylish, just well made for what they are.
Hmm.
And Denzel's our guy. I mean,
Yeah.
make no mistakes about it. Like, there's like we've got a handful of actors that we're all fans of, and Denzel's one of our guys. I'm
Hmm.
actually surprised that this is only, I believe, the third the third Denzel Washington movie we've done on the show. Surprised we haven't done more yet, but we've done Training Day
Yeah.
and we've done
Hmm.
Unstoppable, which you can listen to both
Yeah.
those on Apple or Spotify, wherever you get your podcast.
Hey.
6 minutes in. Last week on Major League, I don't think I got that in until like 26 minutes into the episode, and I almost forgot to even say it. Um, but yeah, I mean, these are just like stylishly well done movies. Antoine Fuqua, I have to say it kind of slow or else I'll screw it up too. It's kind of like a master of these type of movies. Like
Hmm.
he's got a whole resume full of these like very like just well crafted action flicks. But I just thoroughly enjoy them. Like if I ever catch them on TV, I'll sit and watch them. I always like
Yeah.
seeing, like you said, kind of like the guy that is the do-gooder that has like this past. You don't know exactly
Hmm.
what's up with him. Like this guy's too good at this to be just like an ordinary, like I guess lumber
Hmm.
team lead at the local hardware store. Which this movie obviously they've ripped off Home Depot.
Yeah, it's home. I think it's Home Mart, but it's definitely
Yeah,
Home Depot.
but yeah, I always like these kind of movies where like you kind of throughout the movie you kind of figure out like this guy's got a past,
Hmm. Yeah.
and his set of skills are going to help him like defeat the enemy. And yeah, anytime I see that, and plus Denzel being in it, like okay, I'm in. I don't understand why I didn't see these in theaters, and I still have not seen Equalizer 3 yet, which you've told me is the best of the three.
It is. It so two I think was a little weak. I'm not gonna. I won't say who the bad guy is in that movie because I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But thought that character was weak. Um, the Equalizer is phenomenal. The first movie is really really great. I just feel like it really hit its stride in number three. Like it went back to its roots and kind of but it embraced more of Robert McCall's past and that sort of thing. So I really, really liked it. I really like the fact that these movies aren't mindless. Because, like, you get movies like Taken, for example. It's like, okay, Liam Neeson's a dad, but he used to work for the government and he has a certain set of skills. And, like, it's nonstop action after the daughter's taken, right? Well, the thing that I noticed it more when I actually slowed down and watched this movie for the last time is you get more quiet moments in The Equalizer than you do any other kind of this kind of action movie. Like John Wick is like 0 to 100, Taken is 0 to 100, the Bourne movie is 0 to like this movie slows down at times.
Mm.
And then it does some character development, and you're like, oh, I like that about that guy. I really like his friend that he works with. I really like that hooker that he talks to in the diner. um, you actually get to know the characters, and I think it does the movie well because once you get to know the characters, you start to like them. And then when they get hurt, you're like, oh crap, that sucks. Don't want that person hurt. But then you have Robert McCall, who is the equalizer, and you're like, it makes the payoff better, I think. At the very end, you're just like, yeah, they're gonna get what they deserve. So yeah, no, the third one does that so much better than the second one. Yeah, it's really good.
Well, there's this thing that happens in my house quite a bit. Generally, there's three ways that I watch movies. It's I either can watch them in parts because I generally fall asleep just because sometimes my job like kind of wears me out. So like usually to watch a movie, there's movies that I watch over a 2 or 3 day period. It's like I'm watching an old ABC like mini series. It's either that or my personal favorites. Every time I try to watch the Equalizer movies, especially the third one, I've tried to watch that 4 times now. I tried to watch it just last week, and it seems like my kids know that, like, hey, Dad really likes action movies, and Dad really likes Denzel Washington. Let's be as loud as humanly fucking possible so he can't watch this. And it happens every fucking time. Yeah. And the last time, like, I got so mad that I just threw the fucking remote control up and just shut my TV off. Like, okay, I'm fucking done. And it's really one of those, like, after that last time, I was like, I really just want, like, a closet space. Like, just a closet that I could put, like, I can mount, like, I don't know, like, maybe a 20-inch TV and a Roku stick and a somewhat comfy chair and just sit there and watch fucking TV and movies.
What you need to do is it needs to be like that scene in the movie Signs where Joaquin Phoenix rolls the TV into the closet and he's wearing his little tin hat while he's watching the news. You need to do that.
Oh, get one of those TV trays, or like those old, like, elementary school, like, TV carts. Now we're talking.
And just roll it in there and then just close the closet door. They'll never know you're in there unless you have the TV up loud.
Well, what'll happen is somebody will see the power cord running from the closet to an outlet and they'll like, what's this? They'll yank the power out right in the middle of something.
Right. Yeah.
All right. Well, in case you guys and gals are wondering what in the fuck the Equalizer is all about, well, I'm going to tell you. Robert McCall, a man with a mysterious past, tries to live a quiet life, but is compelled to act after meeting a teenage sex worker abused by the Russian mafia. Sums it up perfectly. Thank you so much, Google AI, which I'm not a huge fan of using that too much, but hey, I needed help. Tale of the Tape, this movie is rated R, released on September the 26th, 2014. Stars Denzel Washington, Martin Chokas. See, I knew it was a matter of time.
It is Martin Sokas, I think, is how you say
Sokas?
That. Yeah, Sokas.
We're going to go with that. Chloe Moretz, David Harbour, Bill Pullman, and Melissa Leo. Directed by Antoine Fuqua. Rotten Tomatoes score of 61% from critics, 77% from audiences. The consensus, The Equalizer is a more stylishly violent than meaningful, but with Antoine Fuqua's, Jesus, Rotten Tomatoes, get your fucking shit together. I'm like, I copied this from Rotten Tomatoes and like, there's all kinds of typos. Let me restart that. The critical consensus, The Equalizer is more stylishly violent than meaningful, but with Antoine Fuqua behind the camera and Denzel Washington dispensing justice, it delivers.
It does.
Box office budget of $55 to $73 million. Couldn't really find like an exact figure, but grossed $192.3 million at the box office. Denzel Washington, one of the most decorated actors in the history of Hollywood. Unfortunately, this movie didn't get any Oscar or awards consideration at the time, but they all can't be like prestige, you know what I mean? Sometimes you just need a meat and potatoes action movie. You can currently watch this on MGM Plus, which I recently just got a subscription to, thanks to my wife's grandparents.
Nice.
Give him a shout out, even though I know that for a fact I'll never watch this. Did you know? These are some fun and interesting facts and tidbits about the behind the scenes production of The Equalizer. Some of you may be aware, some may not be. This is based off of a 1985 to 1989 television show that ran on CBS, which starred Edward Woodward. Did you ever watch the old Equalizer television show?
I did not. I was aware of it, but I'd never watched it.
I had a friend that his mom, they used to rerun this on, I believe, TNT at 4 o'clock in the afternoon in the
Hmm.
early 2000s. And if the phone rang or if you were super loud during the Equalizer, you got 7 kinds of hell. And she would
Okay.
fucking yell at you don't, it was almost like the Rob Reiner scene in Wolf of Wall Street to a T.
Oh my God.
Which I believe
Okay.
is he was watching The Equalizer, if I'm not mistaken.
Right.
Um, I will tell you, if you have not watched the Equalizer, if anything, do yourself a favor and check out the opening credits of each episode. Theme song, underrated banger.
Yeah. Okay.
Like, yeah, I heard it. Like, this fucking rips, and all it is just like a scene of like just downtrodden New York City, and then all of a sudden, like the crescendo hits, and it's like the shadowy figure standing in front of a fucking Bentley, and it pans out and it lightens up, and it's just Edward Woodward's face. I'm like,
Oh,
they don't
nice.
make them like that anymore. This movie has spawned 2 sequels, and it also led to CBS rebooting the television show with Queen Latifah, which ran from 2021, and I believe they just canceled it last May.
Oh, really? Didn't know it was on that long.
Neither did I when I researched this. I'm like, I seen the ad for this on the Super Bowl. I'm like, no offense to Queen Latifah, I just can't see this being like on TV too long. But I guess apparently it was a
Yeah.
modest hit for CBS. It just, like many of their television shows, it just got to be too expensive and they shit
Yeah.
canned it. That's the only reason I read that they canceled is just because it got too expensive to keep making.
Well, that's what they say about all the good shows on CBS, so we'll just leave it at that.
Yeah, it's got a very Netflix type of problem.
Yeah.
This movie languished in development hell for several years before it finally started production. It was originally
Dang.
developed by the Weinstein brothers. That
Ugh. Gross.
aged like spoiled milk. It was developed by the Weinstein brothers in 2005, and they brought in novelist Michael Conley and Terrell Lee to write the first script with Paul McGeehan to direct. I've never heard of any of those gentlemen up until just now.
Paul, Paul McGeehan sounds familiar, but yeah, you're right.
You
I
know
wouldn't
what?
know.
I don't really give a shit enough to look it up.
Yeah, neither do I.
With no progress, in 2010, the rights were then sold to Mace Newfield and Escape Artist. Paul Haggis was brought in to write another draft with Russell Crowe slated to play Robert McCall. He's one of the few guys I
Okay.
could see pulling this off.
Yeah. Yeah, he could pull it off.
However, the other project commitments resulted in both men dropping out before Denzel Washington saw the script and expressed interest in playing Robert McCall. And of course, the rest is history. Originally, Nicholas Winding Refn, director of Drive, for those of you in the know, was the original director, but left after 1 month when he could not agree to contractual terms with the producers on his deal. Then they brought in Rupert Wyatt to direct, but he declined, citing scheduling problems. Wyatt also turned down directing Dawn of the Planet of the Apes for the same reason. And then they eventually went with Antoine Fuqua, which I guess it wasn't a bad idea because him and Washington had worked together quite a few times over the years. As a matter of
Yeah.
fact, Antoine Fuqua directed Denzel Washington in Training Day, which, as many of you know, is one of Denzel's finest performances on film, winning him an Oscar.
Yes.
So all worked out. Uh, Denzel admitted in an interview that he was initially reluctant to commit to this movie because of the difficulty in finding a director suited for the job. Although pleased that the end result was a box office hit, he made no secret he only made this movie due to a contractual obligation.
Okay.
But then, of course, Denzel goes on to make 2 more movies in the franchise, which is
Yeah.
actually the first time he's ever done a sequel, let alone a whole trilogy of movies.
Right. And I'm glad that he did.
Mhm.
As much as the second one is not as up to par with the other two, like it's still great. It's still a good movie. It's
I
a
will
good time.
say, Denzel Washington. Well, we'll get into the quotes here in a minute. I'll tell that story. Um,
Yes.
the original script originally had no backstory about Robert, so Denzel Washington contributed much of the character's background and backstory, including McCall having OCD. In addition to
Yep.
his daily physical and fight training before filming, Denzel interviewed several real life OCD sufferers in order to gain insights on how to play that disorder correctly. And like the first time I seen this, I never picked up that he had OCD. Like I just like as an example, I thought like the whole like the sequence inside Slavi's office, like where he's like looking at people and like okay, he's like picking up the little tells and like he does the stopwatch and then he shuts the door 3 times. Like I never
Yeah.
picked up on it. It actually wasn't until I watched it a couple days ago. Like fuck, he does have
Hmm.
OCD. I'll be damned.
Yeah. He even straightens up the skulls on the desk before he does the whole, like before he pushes them to the different people. He straightens them up as he's talking,
Mhm.
which is like it's great. It's great acting.
Yeah, and then as I'm watching it, like okay, like when he puts the tea bag inside of the napkin and he folds it up a certain way, and even when he does the dishes, like the
Yeah.
towel has to be flatly pressed. It
Hmm.
gets like fuck. Like I can't believe I never picked up on that.
Now, I actually just recently watched a thing about obsessive compulsive disorder and figured out there's 2 different kinds. There is obsessive compulsive personality disorder, uh, and there's just obsessive compulsive disorder. So, obsessive compulsive disorder is like if you did something irrational, like you have to turn the light switch on and off 10 times, or, something bad will happen. Like that's an irrational thought, and that's obsessive compulsive disorder. Whereas obsessive compulsive personality disorder is where you have to have things a particular way. So you have to make sure your silverware is the right way while you're at the diner, or you have to make sure the skulls are lined up correctly while you're talking to a person, like that sort of thing.
Mm-mm.
So, yeah, he plays the part really, really well.
I bet those of you that listen to this, I bet you did count on learning about OCD in this episode.
Yeah, right.
That's what we strive to do. If anything, you can use these as teachable moments, whether it's, hey, I learned about OCD in this podcast I listened to about the Equalizer, or just how to do a podcast much better than how we do it. But either way, you learn
These
something
are
new.
this is the fun fact section, and you just got a fun fact.
You did. Those OCD traits, you can, hey, you're at dinner with the in-laws, or you're on a date with like this
Yeah.
young lady you've been trying to, win a date with for weeks on end. It's like, hey, listen, I listened to this really bad podcast, but they told me about OCD. And did you know that? Uh, last one I got is Terry was originally written for an older actress, someone around the age of 24, but Chloe Grace Moretz fought hard for the role and impressed Antoine Fuqua so much he made the role younger. And Chloe was only 17 years old when this movie was released.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I kind of noticed it when I watched it the last time. I'm like, she's pretty young in this movie.
Yeah, and actually, I think being younger kind of helps too because I mean it's pretty fucking gross that they have an underage girl working for them, and it just kind of
And
makes
yeah,
the bad guys more evil, and it kind of like you're really like
mhm.
hey, I totally get, you got to make ends meet. Sometimes you got to take the road, less traveled to get there. But like, yeah, when you're underage and you kind of get lured into that
Mm,
world, it's like, okay, like I really want to see Denzel kill these guys now.
100%.
Oh,
Oh yeah.
so yeah, I think that works to the film's advantage. Is there anything you want to add to that?
Right. Yeah, I have a few things here. So uh, most of mine are about random tidbits in the movie. I don't really have any like behind the scenes things, but uh, McCall's three main victims, Slavi, Teddy, and Pushkin, all ask the same question of McCall before he dies. They say, "Who are you?" Um, the only time he answers it is when Pushkin asks McCall, "Who are you?" He actually replies, "Everyone wants to know." It's the only time.
Mhm.
Uh, great that you know I thought that would have been my favorite line of the movie, which is one of the categories we're going to get to, but it is not. Honorable mention, though. Let's put it that way. The estate shown at the end of the film, where McCall goes to eliminate Pushkin, is the same one used for the estate of the Count in the Jim Caviezel version of the Count of Monte Cristo, uh, where he arrives at the estate in a hot air balloon. Um, it is also used in Flowers in the Attic.
Two movies I've never seen.
McCall is never actually shown shooting a firearm in this movie. At the restaurant, he twists a henchman's arm, forcing him to shoot the boss. And then towards the end of the film, McCall only uses the rifle for a scope, and eventually he uses a nail gun, not an actual gun.
Which I think is actually more painful than actually getting shot with a bullet.
Right. My favorite weapon that he uses is the shot glass, because if you see the guy's eye socket after the fact, it's ridiculous. um, and then the last one that I have here is when Frank calls the dispatcher. He uses the code 1013. This is generally a call for an officer in need of assistance, which kind of shows his backstory a little bit. You don't actually get to know what he did for a living before he worked at the Home Mart, but it was something to deal with the government at least. So, you get a little bit of a backstory there with his that's one of the things I like about the writing too, is it gives you context clues, but it doesn't like straight up tell you. It doesn't treat the audience like they're dumb. It's like, here, we'll give you context clues, and if you pick up on them, great.
I
Great
think
writing.
that
Love it.
I have considered this for quite a while, and watching this, it kind of like reinforced that. I think I need to like just have my iPad with me when I'm watching like movies that involve like police, simply because like
Mm-hmm.
if they say like, "Hey, I've got like a 1020," I have no idea what a
Mm-hmm.
fucking 1020 is, but I can look it up on my iPad. It's just like, okay. And actually, like, I
Yeah.
should just make like an app like, hey, police movie codes. And I'm sure like half of them,
Yep.
like the ones they use are not real, but like
Yeah.
somebody's gonna steal that fucking
I
idea, and
have
I think they're gonna make a ton of money off of it too. And I'm just gonna be here like, fuck.
it's your police movie cheat sheet app.
Or just like, like questions, like technical, like just shit you want in movies. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah.
oh, hey, what's a 1013? Like, you just fucking look it up, and it's like, okay, and Bullet, a 1013 is what they
Mhm.
used, or
Mhm.
hey, in Star Wars, those are actually like flashlight holders you're using for lightsabers or whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Or in NCIS, when she says she needs to go make a GUI in Visual Basic, you don't actually need to do that to track an IP address.
I have never gotten that far into the weeds on anything I've ever watched. So like,
It'd be fun to have an app like that, though, for sure.
or just add on the IMDb.
Right.
You got anything else you want?
I do have another fun fact, but I'm actually going to save it for the score section if I can.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
The Martin Scorsese Award for the best scene of the movie. I think there's a couple of solid contenders in here, but I'm curious to find out what you picked.
I wanted to pick the final sequence inside of the Home Mart, where he basically just fucks up all the guys. But I think I liked the scene inside the restaurant in the middle of the movie more.
Oh, really?
Because, that's the first time you get to see him do what he does. The tension leading up to that scene is palpable because you can see him struggling with the fact that he doesn't want to kill them. He offers them the money. Like, even before
you're talking about
he
the scene in
gets
Slavi's
to
office. Okay.
Yeah.
I thought when you said the restaurant, I thought
above,
at first you meant like the showdown with like when Teddy and Robert meet at the
Oh,
restaurant
no,
to
no.
talk.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, no, I'm the his Slavi's office above the Russian restaurant. I think that you can tell that he is struggling with the fact that he doesn't want to do it, but he kind of has to do it. And he even tries to, buy her freedom, essentially, so he doesn't have to kill anyone. And it's just that tension leading up to it, and you still don't know what he does, like where he came from. He's just a Home Depot employee, essentially, that you're aware of up until that point in the movie. And then as soon as he shuts the door and we get that slow-mo scene of him observing everyone, and then he says 16 seconds, you're hooked. You're like, yep. Mm-hmm. All right, let's go. Let's do. And it's seconds, and he's got pretty much everyone killed in that room. It's great. It's such a good scene.
Yeah, that's what I had too, because that movie, it's a little slow leading up to that. It's like, okay. And then it just like, okay, here you go. This is what you guys and gals paid to see. And then like, it's just incredible.
Yeah.
And like now it kind of makes me want to sometimes, like if I'm in a room like that and I have to do, it could be anything. Like it could be like putting away the dishes. Like I need to start like a timer, see how quickly I can get it done, and just kind of like glance at stuff and process it super quickly. Okay, that butter knife's got a little speck of peanut butter on it. There's dishwasher spots on the coffee pot. No one put the crock pot away, and just like time it and just.
Well, I mean, that's less violent than I'm going to use this corkscrew to corkscrew this guy's tongue to the bottom of his mouth.
Dude, I tell you what, man, like that creative kills, like that one got high marks. Like you can kind of cheat a little bit. Like the only time he ever used a gun to kill somebody was when he literally had the old guy in a chokehold and he forced him to shoot Slavi.
Yeah.
Yeah. Even like the aftermath when the cops are in there, just like what you said with the shot glass, like oof.
Yeah, like you get to see because you get to see the kill, and it's like, oh my god, his eye, but you don't actually get to see what it looks like after the fact until they're looking at the pictures, and it's just like, ugh. So good.
Yeah, that's what I had too. Was best scene in the movie. Honorable mention to the finale inside the Home Mart. You said Home Depot. Home Depot's going to send us a letter out like, hey, whoa, wait a minute. We don't condone that kind of violence in our stores.
Nobody uses nail guns in our store for violence.
We're a family-friendly hardware store. We don't allow that kind of shit. And plus, we have no weight restrictions on our security guards, okay?
They don't have to be under 250.
They could be 450 for all we care. The only thing we care about at Home Depot. I'm just waiting out this long fucking letter. Like, I'm going to open up, like, why is Home Depot sending me something? Like, oh, okay. They fucking pissed off that we confused it for the hardware store and the Equalizer.
That's what it is. That's fine.
Yeah, you know what, Home Depot? We're always open to sponsorship deals, so you can always get a hold of us too. Home
Yep.
Depot. I forget their slogan, but it's where I go to get my hardware necessities.
I was trying to think of like catchphrases there, and all I could think of is "We got the meats," and I was like, "Nope, that's Arby's."
Yeah. Yeah, like they play them all the time during the NCAA men's basketball tournament. I never pick up on it anymore. Oh well. The Andy Dufresne Get Busy Living or Get Busy Dying Award for the best or most quotable line of the movie. Before I give mine out, one of the things that I like about the subgenre of action movies, Denzel Washington killing people, is he generally has just the coldest fucking line that he says to people before he kills them. Like in Man on Fire, he says something about, I'm not here to deliver you to God. I'm just here to arrange the meeting. Like, oh, fuck, he's going to kill this guy. And even in Equalizer 2, which is one of my favorite Denzel lines, period, is when he's talking to the villain and his group of cronies after they've committed something that really, really affects him. That's as far as I'm going to go. But he says that he's going to kill each and every one of them. And the only disappointing part about that is he only gets to do it once. I'm like, holy shit.
That's such a cold line. That's so good.
This movie to me doesn't quite reach those heights, but this one's still pretty good. It's when he's at the dinner table with Teddy. He goes, I've done some bad things in my life, things I'm not proud of. I promised someone I love very much that I would never go back to being that person. But for you, I'll make an example. Or an exception. Sorry.
Yeah.
IMDb let me down again.
Yep. That's a good one. That is a good one. I also like when he's sitting down at the table with her and he says that you can be whatever you want to be. She's like, not in my world. And then he says, change your world. I don't know why. That's just a killer line. I like it. I like it a lot. My best line of the movie is actually kind of out of left field. I don't know if it counts because it's not actually. It's a line in the movie, but it's not said. I really like the fact that the movie starts out with a Mark Twain quote. It is the two most important days in your life are the day that you were born and the day that you find out why. And I'm like, okay. The last time I watched this movie for this podcast, I was like, huh. And I'm not going to spoil the third movie for you because you haven't seen it, but you essentially get the feeling that Robert McCall believes he's the angel of death. Essentially, he's doing this because he has to. He is the one that gives out the retribution, and I really think that line is cold when you view it in that light. That Mark Twain quote. It's really good.
I have it. I have it on my watch list, but I've also really dove into TV shows over the last week. So
yeah,
I'm gonna get to it.
Yeah, no spoilers, but that Mark Twain quote at the beginning of the first movie just is so much more powerful with that in mind.
It's
so good.
I'll give it to you. Your favorite quote like has a little bit more context. I was just looking for something like he's got to have something cold blooded in this, and I was watching the whole movie just waiting for it, and I'm like, okay, that's his guy. Guess that's as good as it's gonna get. And he's like I said, he's gotten higher in some of his other action movies, so we'll give it to yours.
I do like another honorable mention, which is a cold line a little bit, anyways. Not as much as the one in the second movie, but I do like when he's talking to Slavy and he says, "Should have taken the money."
Oh yeah, as he's dying.
Yeah, you're gonna you're gonna die on this funky floor over $9,800, and she's gonna go on living. You should have taken the money.
And he just says it without the
Yeah.
slightest bit of remorse. All right. Our next award is a fan favorite here, the McLovin Award
I am McLovin.
for the best or scene-stealing performance of the movie. Who do you got?
There's a really good cast of supporting characters in this movie. Like I said before, when we were talking about, how this has a little bit more substance and kind of character development, you have all the friends that he makes essentially. You get to know them, and then you don't want them to be hurt, and then they are, and then he gets revenge. Makes it a little bit better. So I had to pick one of them. And out of all of those people, I think that the person that shone through the most on screen was his friend Ralphie from Home Mart, played by Johnny Scouridis, I think is how you say his last name.
There's a lot of people in this movie, like the names are going to be butchered, but
yeah. But I really like his backstory. We get to know him at the beginning. Robert McCall is like helping him become the security guard, getting in shape. He's really supportive. One of the best scenes in the movie is when he goes into his mom's shop and he's like, "Hey, I missed you at work today. Heard you, quit. Wanted to figure out why." And then, he asks him like, "Hey, what are you doing today?" And, he's like, "Helping you. That's what I'm doing." It's like, yeah. And then you get a good payoff at the end with their friendship, their bond. He helps out Robert. He helps get the customers and the employees to safety as the security guard. You actually get that payoff at the end.
and he
So
takes a
I
couple
think
slugs to the leg.
yeah, he does. And he's still kicking after that. He's still helping out. So
Yeah, could you imagine
yeah,
like that? How badly it would have ended for him if he was more than 250 pounds?
yeah. Yeah. So yeah, he has my vote for the McLovin in this movie.
I chose Chloe Moretz as Terry. She's
Yeah,
she's always super solid in anything she's in. I really liked her as Hit Girl and Kick Ass.
yeah, she's good.
Incredibly underrated superhero performance. I don't know. She just does a really good job to me of like portraying somebody that like is kind of doing this against her will, and she's really she like generally like I don't know. I'm not immersed in the world of prostitution, so I don't know how they operate. But like she just seems like when she's in the diner setting, she kind of becomes a real person, and then like when she is approached by Slavy and his cronies, it's like she doesn't want to. It just I don't know. To me, she just kind of portrays like somebody who's like really like she wants out, but she just doesn't know how to get out, and like she's kind of looking to Robert as like maybe this guy can give me like the help that I need to get out of it. And of course, like she ends up getting out of it at the end. Spoiler alert.
Yeah.
But that's my pick. I wanted to go with David Harbour, but his Boston accent kind of is so like I just don't really dig his Boston accent.
Yeah, and he's kind of a douche nozzle in this movie too, so
Yeah.
it's a lot to hate.
I'm okay giving it to yours too. I mean, like I thought about giving it to him because I really do like how like he ends up pulling him up. Didn't he say like something about like no man left behind?
Yeah,
and he helps him up
and yeah, he was talking about how like I'm a $1.90. You're gonna pull me out of a burning building, and it's like, come on, you can't even pull that tire a few feet, and it's like, ends up helping him at the end.
Which comes back because I think didn't he make a comment about like Buck? They makes a joke about him being like 190 pounds.
Yeah, he does. He does. Yeah. So I think that both of them have their purpose in this movie. I don't think the movie works without either character. So I am proposing that both characters get the McLovin Award for this movie.
All right, I can live with that.
Okay.
The Dean Winters Who's That Guy Award for the actor or actress you've seen in a movie, but you don't know who they are. I have nominated, even though he is billed second in the movie. And I actually, right now, I had to Google him as you were reading off your...
Do we have the same person? Because I think we have the same person.
I have Martin Kasalkas. Yeah.
Yes. That is exactly who I had, too. I was like, that's the guy from the Bourne movies. He blew up in the house.
Yep. I remember him. He was in Eon Flux. You remember the Charlize Theron Eon Flux movie? And then he was in Triple X.
He was in Triple X.
Yeah, I think he was the villain. I've only seen Triple X once. And he's also, I remember seeing him like briefly in the second Garfield Spider-Man movie.
Oh yeah, he was in that too. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah, even though like he's the second lead, like I have seen that guy in a bunch of movies, and I can't pinpoint, but I'm almost willing to bet he's in a fucking like one of the Hobbit movies. I'm gonna look it up.
I bet you he. Yeah. Honestly, this guy is the quintessential reason that we have this category.
Right. And I mean, I think it could have been David Harbour but now that, everyone knows who he is after Stranger Things. He was an Abraham Lincoln Vampire Hunter.
He was, yeah. He was one of the vampires that he killed.
He is in Lord of the Rings, Return of the King. He is Celeborn.
Who's he in? He is. He's okay. He's one of the elves.
He
has long blonde hair in that.
He's also in the Fellowship of the Rings too. So
yeah, also long blonde. He's the one next to Galadriel in those movies.
We may have to rename this award as the Martin. Let me go back to Google real quick. Kasalkas. Oh yeah. Lord. You know what? I'm gonna keep it Dean Winters right now because I don't want to. I don't want to fuck with that mouthful.
Kasalkas.
Yeah,
but honestly, like I don't think anybody else deserves this in the Equalizer. This guy is the quintessential reason we have this category.
Right, because Chloe Moretz has been in enough movies where her as Chloe Moretz. David Harbour, same thing, and everyone else, like I've really never seen them in anything. The only other guy was Slavi. Trying to think of the actor's name off the top of my head, but I remember he had a pretty substantial run in the Justified, the television show. He was Walton Goggins' cousin. His name is David Minier. But yeah, it's got to be Martin Kasalkas.
Martin Kasalkas.
All right. I want to probably end up saying that like 5 times after I go to bed, just like so I don't fuck it up anymore. Even though I would probably never say his name again after this movie.
Kasalkas.
The most 2014 moment of the movie. I couldn't really think of anything off the top of my head.
I couldn't think of anything. They did have some of them did have the weird flip phones that you would see in like The Matrix. I don't know if that's like an action movie thing, but it definitely wasn't a 2014 thing because those were kind of old looking. Most of them had like iPhone looking things, but like there was a couple of those flip phones.
I will say that 2014, I would say that this is probably near the tail end of the let's make the old guys action stars craze in Hollywood.
That is a very that's really creative 2014 moment, but yeah, you're right.
Well, I mean, like Taken kind of started
Yeah.
it, and then Liam Neeson kind of became the king of that for a while, and I think this is like kind of like the tail end of it.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
And actually, I think right now too, Denzel Washington, I think might be. It's between him, Statham, and Keanu Reeves is like kind of like the action star, the bankable action star of the moment right now.
Right. I still think Keanu Reeves is probably king of that area, but
well, the last couple of
Denzel's up
Keanu
there.
Reeves movies, I think he's trying to purposely distance himself from action movies. The last couple movies he's done have been like comedies and stuff.
Right.
And I think is he coming back for Toy Story 5?
I think so. Yeah. Duke Kaboom.
The Canadian Evil Knievel. The Indiana Jones It Belongs in a Museum award for the prop you'd most want for your collection. Kind of
want
curious.
the watch.
See,
yeah, I want the watch.
I thought that would be what you would go with. So
Yeah.
I'm going a little different.
Okay.
People that know me know I'm become quite the sneakerhead over the last couple of years, and I kind of want the New Balance shoes McCall wears. I believe those are New Balance, I think 1540s, the black ones. Which those shoes are kind of coming back right now too, like the Asics and Brooks and like even Hoka's, like those all-terrain, super comfortable, like walking and running shoes are like super in right now. So yeah, I would want his New Balance. Plus, I'm a New Balance fan anyways. They're fine crafted shoe they got there at New Balance.
Yeah.
So that would be what I would want too.
That's a good pick. That's a really niche pick, but I like it a lot.
Yeah, if I can't have those, then maybe like the Old Man in the Sea book that he's reading. Maybe that, or his Home Mart smock.
Yeah, that would be a good one too, because you would actually get people to ask, like, what's Home Mart? Like, I've never seen that.
Oh, that's a movie version of the fine folks at Home Depot. They have stolen they have stolen the essence of arguably the greatest hardware store ever put on God's green earth, Home Depot. The John Williams Award for Best Use of Music in the Movie. I had the New Dawn Fades by Moby that plays towards the end.
That's what I had,
Yeah, only because they play it in Heat.
Yeah. That was my my last fun fact. I was like, hey, it plays in Heat. That's a cool fun fact, but I'm going to save it for the best use of music, because that is a category that we have, and it is the best use of the music.
I don't get too many reader emails, but I did get one from, I think I still have it in I'm sorry if I forgot your name. I'm trying to see if I still have the email. Let me go here real quick. Fuck, I deleted it. I apologize if you're listening. Please shoot me another email so I get your name right, and I'll give you a shout out on next week's episode. But I had somebody email me, and the only context in it was like, "Why haven't you guys done Heat yet?" That's it.
Oh, okay.
So I'm making an Heat. So I'm making an effort. We're going to do Heat sooner rather than later. We should have done it last year because Heat was, I think, 30. Is its 30th anniversary last year. So, but we'll get to it at some point, though. Beloved movie by yours truly. I love Heat.
Very, very much so for me too.
So there you go. We both love it. So yeah, we're gonna do it.
Yeah,
we're making a solemn vow now that we're gonna do Heat. We don't always keep our promises here on the show, like putting out consistent or episodes on a consistent basis. But we'll do Heat this year. Would this movie be better if it were directed by Christopher Nolan or Quentin Tarantino? I would like to have
I
seen
don't.
Tarantino's take on this.
I was going to say Tarantino's take would be interesting. Would it be better? I don't know if it would be better, but it would be different, and it might not be bad.
I need to change
So
the wording on
that's
that. I'm going to work on that one because some of these new
yeah,
categories, I got to fine tune a little bit. I
yeah.
think one of them I'm getting rid of. I've gotten a lot of like not so great feedback on that one, so I think we're going to put that one on the
Okay.
back burner. But yeah, I'll figure out a way to word that one a little bit better, and we'll keep it. Yeah, Tarantino I think's the right choice here.
Yeah.
He does violence, this kind of like gritty,
hmm
uh, contain like street violence a lot better than Nolan, I think, is shown so far.
I agree with that. Nolan has some really great cuts of action scenes that might do this movie pretty well, but I think that Tarantino would do the movie better than Nolan for sure.
Yeah, Nolan is more like a grander scale. Like if this were like a
hmm
big like opus type of film, then yeah, Nolan would be the guy. But
How many Hans Zimmer bois would we get in this movie if it were a Nolan film?
about 8, at least 8.
Yeah.
What supporting character deserves their own spinoff? I said Melissa Leo's Susan Plummer character. I would love to find
Yeah.
out what she did, or even her
Yeah.
husband, the incomparable Bill
Mhm.
Pullman.
Yeah. You get the sense that they did something with the CIA and Langley.
Well, you get
But
a lot of that in the Equalizer too. Kind of
yeah,
what
but
she did.
you never really get the full picture, and I think that a spinoff would be really great.
Yeah, even like a Netflix, because we discussed this last week on Major League. Like just like maybe like a get Taylor Sheridan involved. Like just
Right.
an 8-episode Paramount Plus, or well, actually, he's going to be at Universal here before long. So yeah, an 8-episode Peacock miniseries.
Right.
I don't think you can get Denzel to come out for it, but
Yeah, probably not.
would this movie be better with a montage to the sounds of "You're the Best" by Joe Bean Esposito?
Yes, it would, because when he is training, what's his name? Ralphie. I think that that would fit perfectly there.
I actually had it to him beating up the guy that robbed the Home Mart. Ends up beating him up with a
Yeah.
sledgehammer.
Yeah, I think that would be cool. I also think playing it the other way, where Teddy, the Martin Sulkus character, is beating up the foreman at the construction. Just you're the best. Have it playing on that rate, because they have some music playing or something playing on the radio in the background. Just have it be that instead.
Okay, I can see that. Yeah. By the way, when I was researching this too, where did I see that? That guy that plays the foreman at that rock and quarry has the most Boston fucking name ever. It's Sean Fitzgibbon.
It's given. That is the most Boston name.
Boston.
Boston Hab.
Boston Habit. Get down to Fenway Park. To the Sox. The Rob Gordon top 5 with these. Basically, we're coming up with a list of ideas. Would this make Rob Gordon from High Fidelity's top 5? Denzel Washington action movies. Now, even though he is kind of concentrated more in this lane in recent years, he's actually done action movies over his long and illustrious career. So would The Equalizer be in Denzel Washington's top 5 action movies?
Now, you do have, we've mentioned a few already. You do have those few. I think this cracks top 5.
Okay.
The second one, maybe not. The third one is one of my favorites, but I don't know how well it did box office wise. That kind of plays into it a little bit in my head. But I think this one does crack top 5.
Really? Okay. This one's tough because it really depends on how, like, what you classify as like action.
Yeah.
Because I mean, obviously, Man on Fire is going to be on that list.
Yeah, Man of Fire would be on that list.
I think the two undisputed ones are Man on Fire and Crimson Tide.
Yep.
Even though Denzel's not doing a ton of action in that, it's still an action movie. And then it gets interesting after that. I don't can maybe make the argument that Training Day, but Training Day I always said is like more of a cop drama.
It's a drama, yeah, for sure. What about the Book of Eli?
Not a fan.
Not a fan?
No, I just could not get into that one. He's good in. Unstoppable would be one.
Oh yeah,
Unstoppable's fucking fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
So we got 3. I would say yes, just because, like, I think he's got, we said the 3 really good ones, and then it's kind of like you've got your 2 guns. What was the other one? Because he did 2 Guns with Mark Wahlberg. Safe House with Ryan Reynolds, kind of in that middle. So yeah, I'd put the Equalizer in there.
I think the Equalizer.
I mean, it spawned a franchise, so I would say for sure.
Yeah.
TV show adaptations, as we said earlier, this is based off of a 1980s CBS television show.
I'd say so. Let's see. We got The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. Let's see what else we have here. Would you count? No, because it was originally a comic book. I was going to say Batman, but Batman was a TV show before it was a movie, and then it was a movie. But it's still a comic book. That's the first medium, so no, that doesn't count. Trying to think of other movies that were TV show. Mission Impossible. That's number 1, right? Mission Impossible's number 1.
It's not my number 1, but I would put that on there for sure.
Yeah. What's your number 1?
The Fugitive.
The Fugitive. Okay. Yeah. That's a good one too. Equalizer. It maybe makes the list. At least it's on the outside looking in if it's not in top 5.
I don't think I can put it in there. I think Mission Impossible, The Fugitive, obviously, The Untouchables.
Untouchables.
Well, Star Trek.
Yeah.
Even though it's a series movie.
Count Star Trek.
I guess if you only count the original Star Trek movie, I would say maybe not. But I mean, they spawn. Fuck, how many movies have they done now?
So many.
10 or 12 now. The Jump Street movies are really good. I do like them.
Jump Street.
Serenity.
Mm-hmm. Serenity would be in my personal top 5, but I don't think it makes top 5.
The X-Files.
Also, maybe personal favorites, but I don't think that makes any lists either.
I'm trying to think of. The Naked Gun is based off of.
Oh yeah, Naked Gun would make my top 5 again too.
Okay, but yeah, I don't know if I put it's a good one because I mean, let's be real, they've have just as many misses as they do hits when it comes to adapting a television show into a movie. But The Equalizer would be in the good ones. So yeah, I won't put it in my top 5, but I think it's a worthy TV adaptation.
It is.
And my phone locked up on me. Awesome. Vigilante movies. Because, I mean, he is a vigilante, even though he's...
Okay, are we counting superhero movies as vigilante movies because they're
I
vigilantes?
don't... to me, there's like a very like strong difference between superhero movies and vigilante movies. You know what I mean?
Okay. Yeah, no, I get what you're saying, but I'm just trying to make that...
Well, because I mean, obviously, if
line.
you're gonna go like superheroes, yeah, fucking Batman's got to be.
He's the best vigilante. What are you talking about?
Yeah.
So yes, I think that this does make the top 5 for vigilante movies. What's that one?
I think Death Wish, Charles Bronson's Death Wish, has to be number 1.
Death Wish is good. What's that movie? Where the parents kill those guys? Cabin in the Woods.
That's a horror movie.
Yeah, but you get the Schadenfreude at the end because they kill all the bad guys. They become vigilantes themselves.
I guess it'd just be Death Wish 1 through 4.
Well, Taken is a vigilante movie.
Yeah. Falling Down with Michael Douglas, I think, would be one.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I fucking love that movie, and I think we should do it at some point.
Yeah. Okay.
I could probably put this one in there.
Yeah. I think this one goes in top 5 at least.
Last one I got is Boston as a movie setting. I think Boston is actually a very cool movie setting location.
I think so too. You don't get a lot of Boston flavor from this movie, so I'm gonna say no on this one.
Yeah, I mean, I think Good Will Hunting, the town.
Mm-hmm. You get more of a sense of where you are in those movies. This one, it's just background. That's just where they are. You don't get to see like what makes Boston Boston.
It's not a character in this,
right?
Like it is in some of the other movies. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
That's all I got for those. Final category, Brotato score. What would you rate The Equalizer on a scale of 1 to 5?
Not a perfect movie. And like we said before, it didn't win any accolades. But it is a fun popcorn movie, and it is great with character development. It actually has some substance to the needless violence, which is phenomenal. So I'm going to give this a 4 out of 5.
Okay. I went 3.5 out of 5.
Okay. So pretty close.
Yeah. Like I said, I think Denzel action has done better, but this is still a fun movie.
It is. Good popcorn flick.
All right.
For sure.
Well, that's going to wrap it up for this week. We hope you guys and gals enjoyed our take on The Equalizer. If you have a moment, please leave us a 5-star review on Apple. It helps us, those search results, helps the show get a little bit more visible when people are looking for horrible movie podcasts out of Springfield, Ohio. You leave us a 5-star review, that'll be the first result they find. You can also get a hold of us on our socials. Those links are in the show description. You get all the latest show updates. We sometimes will ask random questions, one input from you guys and gals. So please follow us on your social media platform of choice. You can also email the show at couchbrotatopodcast@gmail.com. That link is also in the show description. Should we tell them what we're going to do next, or just leave it a mystery?
Yes. I think we should, because I think it deserves a little bit of recognition and drum up some excitement beforehand. So.
All right. Well, next week, just found out a couple days ago that this movie just turned 50 years old. So Adam and I are going all the way back to 1976. We're going to do All the President's Men, which
Beautiful.
is one of my favorite movies of the 1970s. And I just watched it about a month ago, and I think I text you about it. I didn't think you wanted to do it because how old it was, and I was pleasantly surprised by your enthusiastic yes, we need to do that. So
Yes, yeah, we definitely do.
yeah, we're gonna do that one hopefully next week. So
Yeah,
Leif needs to
if,
stay the fuck out of the way so we can get it
I was
done.
gonna say, right, exactly.
But hit us up on your favorite social media site. You can follow us that way. You can find out exactly when All the President's Men will be coming out. So until next time, we bid you adieu.
Free audio post-production by alphonic.com.